Today's Baldurs Gate 3 video is all about how to enjoy the adventure without the stress. I'm going to teach you all of the ways to make the game as easy, as stress-free, and even how to cheat the game itself. Let's get into it. The three things every party needs for Baldurs Gate 3 is a face of the party. That is someone that does the talking, the persuading, the intimidation, all of that kind of stuff. You know, someone that might have to like grab heavy objects, someone that might have to make perception checks. You need just one character to do all of this. Next up, you're going to want a healer or a buffer or a caretaker of sorts. That is until you really learn the game and start using those broken overpowered builds. Then you'll just run 4 DPS because you won't need heals. You can just heal after combat. And finally, a lockpicker character, a character that can disarm traps, a character that can open locked doors, or even characters that can bypass the environment completely, which I call movement characters. You're going to want all of these in every party for every playthrough. The first cheat is that you can heal for free at any time in the game by simply altering the difficulty a bunch of times. So if you look at my party here, I have most of my characters are around half HP, Lae'zel being a little bit healthier. And also, I just want to point out you can do this during combat, but there's one caveat, I don't know how to pronounce that word. But essentially, if you do this during combat, you will also heal your opponent. So here we have Weary Traveler. I'm not going to spoil who this is. Level 20 Wizard. And he's about halfway dead. About, you know, not exactly, but he's close enough to halfway. So is our character. So I'm going to open the menu, go to difficulty, change it to a higher difficulty, change it to a lower difficulty, and then you'll notice that now our characters are fully healed. You may have to do that a few times depending on how hurt you are, but you'll notice too that our enemy here is now almost fully healed. Where he has 127 HP out of 129. If I do it again, you know, difficulty swap and swap back, he is now at 129. So the reason why this works and how it works is you'll notice that on Explorer difficulty, the easiest difficulty, my main character here is 118 HP. Well, when I crank it up to balanced, he now has 59. And if I go further to Tactician, it's still 59. So this is the true HP of the game if you're playing on a higher difficulty. But if you want to take it easy, you know, be easy street, then by going from a high difficulty to a low difficulty, it alters the percentage of your HP to match. And by doing that a few times, the game just heals you. And yeah, this isn't going to be patched. This is not something the devs really care about. This is just a way to make the game easier and less stressful for you. But again, don't do it during combat because it heals the enemies. Next is potions are incredibly overpowered, and as soon as you hit level 6, you can get every end-game potion. I'm going to link you to that in just a sec, but I just want to demonstrate here. My characters are about half HP. I have, here's a greater healing potion. We actually have better than that. We have the Supreme Healing Potion. There's also the Superior Healing, the Supreme being the best one. But instead of chugging potions, if I chug this potion, it will heal my character 30 to 60 health. Or I can throw it, and look, all my characters are bunched up here. And I don't want to hit them with the bottle. I want to hit the ground so that it splashes up into their wounds. I know it's weird like that. But here we go. I can throw this, and then look at the massive amount of healing everyone received. It basically fully healed all of the characters. And if my main character was wearing his, you know, his healing helmet, he would have healed himself. Which I have it here somewhere. Yes, this one. This would have healed me for 6 every time I heal another target. So I'm not talking about gear in this video. I'm only going to be talking about like just how crazy potions are. For instance, I have a potion of flying. I can fly anywhere. 10 turns. I can go invis. We have potions of speed, which give you another action. Arcane cultivation. I can't speak. Level 3 spell slot just comes back. That's pretty powerful early on. In late game, it's still really useful. There's so many good things here, especially buff elixirs like Elixir of Cloud, Giant Strength, 27 strength. And remember, you don't have to chug these. Like, let's say, what kind of potion do I have here? I have a potion of flying, potion of speed. Remember, you can do the same thing for any potion. You don't have to chug them. Just throw them at the people that you want buffed. And then, boom, there we go. Now, all 3 characters are hastened instead of 1. It's insane. As soon as you hit level 2, you can get 2 of the best potions in the game. You can get Hill Giant Strength, which is the 21 strength elixir. It lasts the whole day, and invisibility potion, which will let you steal or get one of the best great swords in the game for Lae'zel as early as level 3. It's insane how potions are incredibly overpowered. Here's a video on my channel. Go check it out. It's got very low views, so not many people know about this secret just yet. Another great potion video is this one right here, Advanced Potion Crafting Made Easy. A lot of people are intimidated by the crafting system of this game. It's incredibly simple. This video will teach you exactly how to get those insanely in-game super potions as early as level 6. And it's really quick to do. It takes you like maybe 10 minutes tops. You don't have to run all over the world gathering herbs. You can just buy them from a certain vendor, reset the vendor every like 10 seconds, and buy them again and again and again, and then craft everything in the game right then and there. It's so simple. Go check it out. There's links in the description. Just click the description here and scroll down, and you'll find the links right in here. And while this isn't technically a potion, you can do the same thing with like toxins, right? Instead of consuming this, and for 10 turns you get you know, poison damage, you can throw this on the ground at your camp, and then every single one of your characters can dip their weapon into this using the dip action, and then they get it for 10 turns as if you just consumed it. But everyone can do this, and this puddle will last until long rest. So throw this in your camp in a secluded corner, have everyone dip their weapons, and then dip out of camp, and then you got more damage. It's great. Next up is Withers and how he breaks the game. So here we have a dead main character, a dead Lae'zel, and a dying Shadowheart with the Weary Traveler deciding not to finish her off. But let's say you have a near full party wipe, but you have one character out of your 4 that never went to combat. They just stayed in the camp, like Astarion here. Also, Crispy Dead Gale. What you can do with Withers, and you can do this on honor mode if you want. You talk to Withers, and then you just simply have him. I need to resurrect someone. There you go. So I want to resurrect Swole Benji. Here's the gold, and now you can resurrect him. And once he comes back, you can throw him back out into the field and get right back in combat. And you can do this infinitely. And if you're wondering, but Withers costs gold, Withers costs money. No, you just pickpocket it back. There you go. Withers doesn't mind. If you fail to pickpocket, he doesn't leave the camp or become hostile. But now you take your freshly revived character, you leave camp, you go right back into combat. Here we are. And it took Astarion too, but you know, with your fresh character, you can just resurrect everybody. You can just get, you know, it's so simple and so easy. But also, Withers allows you to respec characters, especially the storyline characters. So that means no more low percent hit chance Shadowheart because her stats really suck and aren't optimized. You can change their classes, you can change their stats, so many things with Withers. And just getting Withers, it's really simple. You either do the very first dungeon in the entire game, or I have a video on how to get him by skipping that dungeon. It's actually faster. And I know some people in the comments are like, oh, you just get Withers by playing the game. No, there's a specific point in the game where you unlock Withers automatically, and that's what the video's about. This video right here, called The Best Secret Way to Get Withers, No Dungeon Required, is by far the best and fastest way to unlock Withers in your playthrough. I always do this on a honor mode playthrough. If you want the easiest possible way to play this game, just go get Withers early, and then you never have to worry about having a full party wipe ever again. Now, vendor resetting is absolutely crucial to having the easiest possible playthrough. It allows you to infinitely buy materials, it allows you to infinitely acquire gold, and it's super simple to do. I've explained how to do it in this video, but I've also explained how to do it in this video right here, how to get infinite gold, which is also super useful in and of itself. It also shows how to vendor reset and how to quick steal. Now, as you can see, this vendor here has a whopping, let's see. Oh, I've already started doing it. 58,000 gold, which I am primed to take from them, right? And vendors don't ever carry that amount of gold, ever. Also, consumables, which I could buy, and materials, which I could buy. And just go check those 2 videos out, and it's going to teach you everything how to do it. Next up is Astarion, who is the absolute most powerful, most broken character in the entire game. and there's a few reasons why. So number one is that he is the highest possible character in the entire game of characters that you can play that has the highest potential to push his skill checks, his attack rolls, that means chance to hit, his ability scores, that means your like strength, wisdom, dex, all that, and his attack and damage rolls in Act 3. There is no other character that comes close. Karlach maybe comes close, Minthara comes both of those come a little bit closer for attack damage rolls, but Karlach uses a consumable that's limited in the game, and Minthara requires a bonus action, whereas Astarion has this passively throughout the whole game. Well, in Act 3, he gets the damage, 1 to 10 necrotic damage, but that he is just insane in this regard. Number two is that he is naturally one of the harder, stronger carries that the party has early game and at end game. If you keep him as a default rogue, the early game items in Act 1 are just geared for making him as strong as possible. And I have a whole video that I'm going to show you on screen, of course, because that's what we YouTubers do, to just prove that point. But before I do that, he just agrees with everything and anything that you do in the story, except for a very few things. Like, if you were playing a very goody two-shoes holy paladin, must save the princess type, he won't entirely agree with that, but he won't leave the party over it. So if you want to be as geared as possible in Act 1, this is the video for you. How to make Astarion OP in Act 1. It is insane how crazy strong he gets. And if you want to see it in action, I literally made a live stream where I showed this off solo Astarion. And basically, we basically finished all of Act 1. Well, everything that we needed to empower Astarion here in about 3 hours. We were done like by the 3-hour mark into Act 2, and I got bored and I didn't feel like doing Act 2 on the stream, so I just started murder hoboing everything on Act 1. But yeah, it only took 3 hours for Act 1 solo. Are you kidding me? That's nuts. That's crazy. You have to check this out. To make the game even easier, you can get Lae'zels' ultimate weapon at level 3. Just look at the damage on this beast of a weapon. It is insane how strong this is. It gives you advantage on int, wisdom, charisma throws, resistance to psychic damage if you aren't using warding bond, which I'm going to talk about in a bit. That's not really relevant, but also you can't be charmed. And Lae'zel as a fighter, did you know that fighters are one of the highest DPS, just brain dead classes in the game? It is crazy strong how insane Lae'zel is. I think this is a level 7. This is a level 7 Lae'zel. And whenever I actually put her in combat, she gets when she crits or kills someone, she gets a bonus swing. She gets a bonus action. She can action surge for 2 more attacks, only 1 extra on honor mode. But still, this is just stupidly strong. Look at that. That was 36 damage in a single attack, and she could do that 6 times a turn. And, well, more if you have the haste or the bloodlust elixir, or both. But it's crazy how insanely overpowered she is. Let's kill Shovel here. Look at that, one-shotted. It's stupidly strong, it's super simple, and I have a video just for you. And this is the video, how to get Lae'zel's ultimate weapon in Act 1 at level 3. It's a short little 8-minute video. Again, just open that little description. It's got chapters for you. And just click it right down in here. It's in tips and tricks. It's, where's it at? Like, how to get the best greatsword. There it is right there. How to get Lae'zel's ultimate weapon. You gotta watch it. And if you think she's doing crazy damage because of some min-max build, she is literally just a fighter. A level 7 fighter, battle master, so she has like the abilities that can knock people down and disarm them and push them around. And her gear is just tank crap. Like, it's not even finished yet. I'm trying to make her, well, in this playthrough she's holding on to radiant tank stuff, which, future video for the channel. But yeah, she has nothing special on her at all. She does not have Gucci gear that is making her deal insane damage. Next up is just knowing how to cheese fights, which I might make a video about, but it's not really planned. For instance, this is the Hag boss room, and she is invisible right here. So I can stack up a bunch of barrels and then blow her up, or I can just knock her into the pit like this. And there she goes, she's dead. That's the fight, that's the Hag fight, done. 1 spell, 1 kill, easy peasy. And that was completely solo with Astarion, by the way. But there are so many little ways to do this with bosses. Like this video right here called How to One-Shot the Spider Boss. That's right. You can take a level 1 character and do one little simple trick to instantly kill the spider boss. This is normally a very difficult boss that people have a lot of trouble with because it teleports all over the place. It has ranged heavy attacks. It can execute. It summons like 20 or 30 baby spiders to attack you. It's a real pain in the butt, but you can simply just insta-kill it and move on. Another way to make the game stress-free and easy is buff stacking, camp casting, camp buffing, whatever you want to call it. And that is stacking all of these crazy buffs on characters so that you have the highest advantage possible in and out of combat. So every single character has Warding Bond, every single character has protection from poison, Long Strider, Aid, movement speed from Transmuter Stone. Well, not everyone, not in this save file. We all have elixir buffs, we have the Sylvanas Blessing, we have Death Ward, Freedom of Movement, which is also not shown on here. It is just crazy how many buffs you can stack, and I made a very precise guide on how to do this. Now, this video, the Ultimate Buff Stacking Guide, is way different than any other channel that's done this kind of video, because I even list the ones that they all miss, like Sylvanas' Blessing. And I have it right here listed in chapter form, so you can just go straight to it and learn all about it. Like, oh, what the heck is Aid? What the heck is Warding Bond? I really suggest you come to this video and click right here, because this is the #1 buff in the game that will carry you through Honor Mode. Alright, some of these are a little bit higher leveled stuff, like Hero's Feast is level 11 or 12, I forget. I think it's 11. But there's a whole lot of other things you can stack too, and they're all in here. So make sure to check this video out. It's insanely valuable that you learn this to make the game as easy as possible, which I know you do. That's why you click the video. Next up is maximizing your dice rolls, but also knowing how many rolls are in the game. So at the very start of this video, which is called How to Easily Win Most Dice Rolls, there's a whole chapter called Dice Roll Counts Most to Least. I'm going to skip ahead here, and you'll notice that these are all the saving throws in the game, and then the skill checks. You'll notice that there are way more persuasion skill checks than anything else, in, like history or nature, and like acrobatics is the least rolled thing in the game. So if you make an acrobatics specialist character, there's like 3 moments in the game where you get to use it, and you don't even need to roll that high for them. So it kind of defeats the purpose of when you're making a character. There's no reason to focus on acrobatics, ever. This game, there's just, maybe in your D&D playthrough there might be, but like in this game, there simply is not. And this video will cover all of it, so please go check it out. It's insanely valuable. Permanent buff stacking is very important to min-max your characters and your builds. You don't want to plan or make a character without factoring in your permanent buffs. What is a permanent buff, for example? I have so much crap in my inventory, oh man. But here we have Auntie Ethel's hair. What is that? Well, this particular one will give a +1 bonus to strength forever. A permanent strength buff bonus. And there is a bunch of these in the game. As a matter of fact, I have some on this character right now. For instance, Forbidden Knowledge down here. Let's actually go to the page where it's at. Hold on. We have Awakened. That's a perma buff. We have Dark Vision. I would count that kind of as a perma. Let's see. There's a bunch here. Volo Urstat's Eye. That's a perma buff that gives you see invisibility forever. For a small cosmetic, makes your eyeball a little cloudier looking, whatever. It's still worth it. There's a favorable... No, that's an Illithid power. Okay, where's Loviatar's Love? That's another perma buff. There are so many of these. Now, I've made a video showing all the ones in Act 1, and if these videos do well, which, well, it says no views because it hasn't been released yet, okay? It's still private. But in the chapters, I list every single one that you can get in Act 1, even the ones that aren't listed in the wiki articles, okay? There are some in here that there's no wiki article about. And so you definitely want to watch the video, or at least check out the chapters of the ones like if you know the game and you know what See Invisibility is, you know what Loviatar's Love is, you could skip those. Duh, that's how YouTube works. I'm not forcing you to watch the whole video, but definitely check this one out, and you won't regret it. So Tadpole stacking is using Illithid powers, but in a smart way. So for instance, if you have a high DPS character or a character with a specific build, you can pump all of your tadpoles into one character so that Cole the Weak will constantly proc, and you can clear entire screens of enemies. That's a thing you can totally do, right? But you also want every character with favorable beginnings, because this just makes you always land your attacks, and you only need a few attacks to kill targets. There's just so many little tricks in here, and I have a video just for you. And that video is this: how to get all the tadpoles in Act 1, even the secret ones, and yes, I've got them all chaptered for you. There are a few in here that aren't on the wiki page as well, so please check it out and get every single tadpole you can in Baldur's Gate 3, because it breaks the game until you're towards the end where you don't really need them as much, depending on what you choose for the story. That's all I've got for Baldur's Gate 3, and I know you're like, why are you saying it weird? It's because YouTube's caption thing has not been typing it in correctly, and I'm thinking that's why I'm not getting good views, is it can't understand my voice. Anyway, please leave a like, please. I'm going to die if I keep covering this game. It's making me no money. People aren't watching my vids. I need you to spread. Tell your friends. Tell your freaking friends if you have any. I don't have any, or I would tell them. But I need you to just leave a comment, please. Please leave a comment. I have nothing to read. I don't want to read Albion comments. I want to read Baldur's Gate comments. Please. Please help me with that. Also, there's a video on the right side of your screen. If you don't click it, you're going to have a massive, massive heartburn the next time you eat any food.